Hola amigos, this is Vidi with Vallarta Life. In this video, I'm actually going to talk about something very different, something that's going around, circulating around the news about a crocodile attack. I think a day or two ago here in Puerto Vallarta, a crocodile attacked a teenage girl in the ocean at the Marriott PV. So just wanted to talk about this because I know a lot of people will start to Google, is crocodile attacks, regular or something frequent that happens here in Vallarta. People want to know, why are crocodiles roaming around the ocean? Is it safe to swim in the ocean? So I just wanted to talk about this real quick. Let me tell you guys that there are crocodiles here in Puerto Vallarta, not in the ocean, but here in Puerto Vallarta. There's actually a crocodile sanctuary located next to the Marina Vallarta or close to the airport. And there's actually a big river called El Rio Ameca, which divides Nayarit and Jalisco. So on the other side of Nayarit, you got Nuevo Vallarta, which I know there's a lot of big resorts, all-inclusives there. And then on the other side, you got the Marina Vallarta, that's where the Marriott PV is located, and other big resorts. So in that big river, the Rio Ameca, everybody knows that one has crocodiles. So this is what happens here in Puerto Vallarta. Right now we're in the rainy season. It starts usually June. Showers start to come. July is showers, and then August and September you can expect there to be rainfall every single day, like at nighttime. So just on Monday and even last night, Tuesday night, we had huge thunderstorm. A lot of rain fell for like an hour straight. And what happens during the rainy season here in Vallarta is that all the water comes gushing down the mountain, gets thrown in those rivers, which the Rio Ameca is obviously one of the biggest rivers. And then there's several other rivers. There's another smaller one by the marina, there's another one by the Malecon, there's just several of them. So, and this is why if you come during this time period, you will see the water be a little brown sometimes, because if it rained a lot, it brings down all the mud and any trash from the mountains to the ocean. So what I think happened is that on Monday it rained a lot, and I don't know, I think this attack was on Tuesday night maybe, or Wednesday morning. I don't know. I don't remember. But since it rained so much, sometimes I have heard of people seeing crocodiles swimming in the water. Okay, and I was just thinking like, oh, and it always happens during the rainy season. I have never heard anybody being attacked. This is like the first case that I hear of here, living in Vallarta for almost 4 years. So what I think happened is that, on Monday it rained a lot. Sometimes the water rushes down the rivers really hard and then pushes sometimes some crocodiles into the ocean. So I think that's probably what happened. Since the Marriott PV is located in the Marina Vallarta, it's pretty close to the crocodile sanctuary, and that must have happened. She was swimming at nighttime, so it might have been difficult to see if there was a crocodile there, for her to see it, since it was night. It says that she was swimming at midnight. Marriott PV, I personally have never been inside of it. I've seen it from the outside. It has great reviews. People even on TikTok always say that that's a great resort to go to. And in my opinion, I mean, like I said, I've never been to it. Sometimes I don't really like to recommend like the Marina Vallarta area or even the Nuevo Vallarta area because of the river that flows into the ocean. It kind of just makes the water look brown and a little dirty sometimes, but more in the rainy season. So it's they say, the news says that she said there was no signage, that the ambulance didn't come fast enough, that she had to wait 4 hours, like a bunch of things like that. I don't know, I'm not sure, but to me, there's a beach right next to the Marina Vallarta, which is actually where I've done turtle releasing, and sometimes I recommend them. They're the Campamento de Boca de Tomates. And even there, you know, sometimes they will tell you be careful, because obviously the turtle releasing is whenever the sun is going down. Whenever you finish, it's already dark and you have to walk a long road, and that's where the sanctuary of the crocodiles are. So they're always like, oh, be careful, you know, watch your step, and like make sure. And there's even signage there that says beware of the crocodiles, you know, because they might come out, you know. I've never seen any crocodiles. This is not something that's common in Vallarta. I just don't want you guys to be scared or like concerned. You know, it's not something that's common for the crocodiles to be swimming in the ocean. So it's a very unfortunate event that happened. I'm so glad that she's okay and that she survived. Now the whole 4-hour thing of the ambulance, to be quite honest, obviously Mexico is very different than the United States. They're not gonna be like having an ambulance right away in 5 minutes. That's just the reality of things. Actually, me and my husband have thought and like said, you know, because we live far south of Vallarta. We don't even live in Puerto, well, I mean, I guess we do live in Puerto Vallarta. We live in, it's still considered Puerto Vallarta, but we live south, like close to Garza Blanca, if you know where that area is. So we don't live that close to a hotel, I mean a hospital. So I always say, like, if something happens to us, an emergency, like we already know that the ambulances will probably take a long time. We're not in America, we're not in the United States. So if it's not something like if it's in our how would you say it, if something happens to me, let's say, but my husband is okay, we've decided that he needs to drive me to the hospital, because that's probably going to be the fastest way for me to go and get to the hospital. If something happens to my husband and I'm okay, then I know that I need to take him to the hospital. Now obviously if something happens to both of us and we have to have an ambulance, well, there's no other option. But that's just the reality of things here in Mexico in general, and it's not just in Vallarta. Another thing that was said is that they didn't want to attend to her immediately, and that's something that is a little discouraging about living here in Mexico, because in Mexico, if you're going to the hospital, if you got shot, if you got attacked by an alligator, whatever, if you're basically dying, they want you to pay first before they give you the service. And that's in all of Mexico. That's just the reality of things. You know, people are very poor here, and they just want to make sure that, you know, they're not going to give you a service and then you're never going to pay. So it's very different than the United States. In the United States, you can be dying or whatever, and they're going to attend to you right away without asking you if you have money or not. That's just part of it's part of traveling, and it's part of living here in Mexico, of a reality we have come to, you know, understand. And that's how come we have these conversations, me and my husband. If something happens to us, you know, we're not gonna take the ambulance if we don't need to. We're gonna go to the private hospitals. You know, we're fortunate that we have enough money that I think we will be set to pay off up front, you know, and all that. And if not, you know, this is why they always recommend, you know, travel insurance when you're traveling to other places, because you don't know how, if you don't investigate, you don't know how their system works. You know, sometimes we think everything is the same like in the US, and it's not. So it's always good to have insurance, you know, when you travel to other places, in case anything happens. You know, usually we think nothing's gonna happen, you know, and usually it doesn't, you know. But in the case that you do have an event that happens or something happens to you, you know, you will be well taken care of because you have that travel insurance, if you don't have money up front to put up. So those are my thoughts on the situation of what happened. Like I said again, this is not common in Vallarta. Sometimes when I have heard of crocodiles roaming around the ocean, it's during the rainy season. And you know, sometimes that's why I usually try to recommend for you guys to stay further south or go to the beaches south, because they're even nicer and we don't have that problem. Like the river doesn't flow into the water south, like the beaches south, like Playa Palmares, Playa Conchas Chinas, you know, all those, that area, Playa Punta Negra. those are good beaches to swim in. That's my quick video, guys. I hope this was informative, and these are my thoughts. If you have any other questions, leave them down in the comments below, and I'll see you in my next video.